Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm Shreya Dhondial. It is very good to see you. Is protesting on the stairs of Parliament and sipping a cup of tea there an insult to an institution that embodies the democratic will of the people of India? Well, ladies and gentlemen, 5 days after Rahul Gandhi was spotted dunking his biscuit in a cup of tea during a protest over LPG, a group of 204 eminent citizens have written an open letter to the leader of opposition. The letter is telling Rahul that Parliament's steps are not a venue for spectacle or political theatre. The letter is saying that Rahul placed personal political optics above the dignity of Parliament, reflecting what the signatories described as arrogance and entitlement. The letter further goes on to say that Rahul Gandhi has repeatedly contributed to lowering the level of public discourse and decorum through theatrics both inside and outside Parliament. Now, this letter, written by former DGP of Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Ved, is signed by 204 people, including 116 retired armed forces officers, 80 former bureaucrats, 4 former ambassadors, and 4 senior advocates. The top signatory is former IAF chief R.K. Bhaduria, who just, by the way, officially joined the BJP in 2024. All these 200-plus signatories are demanding an apology from the leader of opposition for, and I quote, troubling scenes of hubris and privilege in Parliament. Now, the open letter is following an all-out attack on Rahul Gandhi's tea-biscuit moment by the BJP, led by Home Minister Amit Shah.
एक और भारतीय जनता पार्टी है जो संसद के अंदर बहस को महत्व देती है और दूसरी ओर राहुल गांधी है जो संसद बंद कर संसद के दरवाजे पर चाय पकोड़ा खाकर संसद का अपमान करते।
A quick chat with my guest, Brijesh Kalappa, spokesperson of the Congress party, joining us on the broadcast. Major General Dhruv Katoch is one of the signatories of the letter. He's joining us on the broadcast as well. And Rohan Gupta, national spokesperson of the BJP, will be with us in just a bit. General Katoch, I'm coming to you first. Can I please understand why this open letter was written to Rahul Gandhi? And it was written, just by the way, 5 days after the said incident happened. Many people will say the leader of the opposition is not doing anything unusual. He's simply protesting that is his democratic right. And in the middle of this protest, if he decides to have a cup of chai with a biscuit, what is the problem?
Thank you. And, you know, your concern is well-founded. But let me put it across in the way I've thought about it. You know, the members of Parliament, India's member of Parliament, are all very well-respected figures. Every single member of Parliament has given his life for the service of this country. Correct. And they have worked very hard to achieve that status. They have got there by a great deal of self-sacrifice, and they have garnered the faith of their respective parties. Now, all of them are role models. And my problem is this: is this the type of role model we want to see for the youth of India? You see, there are role models and there are role models. Okay. And when we look at foreign parliaments, we see a totally different picture, at least all the respective parliaments. Now, India is a thriving democracy. And, you know, the parliament is today our most respected institution. It is sacred. Now, we don't go and do such antics, you know, at the floor of a temple or something. So if this is the type of, for our respected politicians, for our members of Parliament, who are the most revered in this country, if this is what we are going to show to our youth, then they will follow.
General Katoch, you're saying Rahul Gandhi doesn't behave like someone who could be the role model for young people in this country. I want to ask you, what is the problem in a role model protesting? What he believes is something that needs to be highlighted. For example, what was the protest about? It was about LPG cylinders. Where will a member of Parliament protest? He can't protest inside Parliament, so he's protesting outside Parliament. I want to ask you, what is the problem with protest? Do we have a problem with people who have a differing point of view?
No. I appreciate the different point of view. In fact, I support it, and I would request the opposition to to put all these differences down. If we have a weak opposition, it doesn't work. The opposition must protest. But there are ways to protest, and please do it inside the parliament. Put forth your arguments, make them strong arguments. And that is the way to get the government, to get the government to function. I have always been a very firm believer that we need a very strong opposition. Otherwise, the government of the day, regardless of which is the government, will get carried away. But this behavior doesn't work. You are neither doing any service by being an opposition, nor are you being a role model. We are losing it both ways.
Brijesh Kalappa, would you want to respond, please? What do you make of this open letter? Are you taking it seriously as a Congress spokesperson?
Yeah. No, we take everything seriously, Shreya. As far as the Indian National Congress is concerned, we take everything seriously. It's a different matter that 99% of this list of people who have been been outraging about this event belong to the BJP or are aspirants for Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, or for governors' positions and so on and so forth. It's a different matter. That doesn't matter. So long as they're raising an issue, we will certainly respond to it. Now, according to some of them, they feel that a person should go hungry, should not have tea and biscuits. Well, we accept that. So, in fact, some of these people have contested on BJP tickets. I don't know if you observed. At least 6 to 7 of them have contested on BJP tickets. It's the same set of people. The very same set of people who are always angry. And they're not angry at the fact that there is no LPG in the country. They're not angry at the fact that there is a Union Petroleum Minister who is mentioned in the Epstein files. They're not angry with that. They're not angry with the fact that the Prime Minister is mentioned in the Epstein files. They're not angry with that. They are only angry at Rahul Gandhi. They are only angry at the Indian National Congress. They are only angry at certain things that the Congress party does. Basically, the point is that several of them are genuinely beneficiaries, are going to be beneficiaries of the various Padma Bhushans, Padma Shris, and so on and so forth. Good luck to them. We have
I will let General Katoch respond to that. General Katoch, the fact is, who's the #1 signatory of that letter? He's a former IAF chief, someone I know well, who's officially a member of the BJP. So therefore, if the Congress party steps out and says that this is essentially the ecosystem and the echo chamber of the BJP that is penning these open letters, and this open letter is openly political and nothing else, are they wrong?
No. The respected Congress spokesperson is a very well-respected figure in the nation. So I'm not going to question what, he's totally at liberty to say what he's saying. But let me, to the very respected congressperson, let me make one thing clear. I, Dhruv Katoch, do not belong to any political party. I have no membership. Please check it out. I don't have any desire to be a governor, lieutenant governor. I don't require any sop from anywhere in the world. But please allow me to have my conscience. Don't take that away from me by trying to attribute motives to what I do. I do not do motives. I have maintained my conscience regardless of which government was in power, whether it was the Congress government, and I am one of those people who have been supporting Indira Gandhi for the great thing which she did. Now people will label me for that. I support my conscience, and this is my conscience. I want our members of parliament, who are the most respected people in this country, to be role models for my country. If we want to be Viksit Bharat by 2047, we need our parliamentarians to show the way. Please protest, and please protest strongly. Make your voice heard. But I would request, don't do it on the steps of the parliament and having a tea pakoda, because then the people think of it as a joke. And that is my problem, you see. The seriousness of a situation, of an LPG crisis goes away. And incidentally, ma'am, one more minute on the LPG crisis. When the crisis broke out, my gas had actually finished and I booked my gas. I got it within 24 hours. I was surprised.
Okay.
I presume that is a state across the country. Okay. There are problems in the hotels, yes. There are problems with the rediwalas who require 1 cylinder a day, yes. But there has been a great deal of hoarding which needs to be curtailed by all the state governments.
General Katoch, the Congress does have a point when they say that these open letters get written only for the Congress party or Rahul Gandhi. They never get written for the BJP or the present government, right? So if it was such an unbiased exercise, I'm sure the government doesn't do everything right and the BJP doesn't do everything right. Once in a while, these open letters can be written for them as well. But can I just bring in Rohan Gupta into the conversation as well? Rohan Gupta, hi, good evening and good of you to join us. We have the Congress spokesperson who is saying, look, the fact is that all these 204 people who have signed on to the open letter that has been written to Rahul Gandhi are people who are in one way or the other affiliated to the BJP, which means that this essentially is a continuing attack from the BJP and no one else. I want to ask you, what exactly was the problem in the pictures that we are seeing on our screens? There is a protest happening. The protest is legitimate. It is not illegal. During this protest, there is chai being sipped and biscuit being eaten. Even that is not illegal. Problem kahan hai? Rohan Gupta.
See, I am not here to speak on behalf of people who have written the letter, but the essence of it, if you see the conduct of opposition party in parliament, whether it is inside the parliament or outside the parliament, not following the rules, when somebody tells that you please follow the rule, bringing no confidence motion against that. So this is not just one thing, it's telling that I am not allowed to speak when there is question hour and you have to, in the address of president's address, you have to reply and you talk about unpublished book. So don't you feel this is a disrespect to the parliament? And what this letter says, I'm not speaking in behalf of the people who have written the letter. They are saying the dignity which is inside the parliament should be maintained outside. There is absolutely nobody questioning about the right of opposition not to protest. But these are the same stairs where opposition leader was telling one central minister Gaddar, a traitor. Do you feel this is justified? Is the parliament place for an LOP, which is the constitutional post, telling a central minister Gaddar on the stairs? I don't think so. This is justified. So I think overall, if you see, Shreya, the way things are, that opposition party today doesn't want to maintain the dignity of the parliament, whether it is inside the house or inside the parliament premises. You have seen one of the MPs of the Congress party bringing a dog inside the parliament thing. So that is overall mindset now, that you want to create the news. You have to be in news just in order to remain in the news. You are doing all these things drama.
No, wo to every political party wants to be in the news, Mr. Rohan Gupta.
But not at the cost of the dignity of parliament, Shreya, right? That's what I'm saying. आप करिए न्यूज में रहिए, सही पॉइंट पे न्यूज पे रहिए. एलपीजी पे आपने पूरा इतना रकस फैला दिया, पैनिक क्रिएट कर दिया, और आज क्या आपकी इज्जत क्या रह गई? तो न्यूज में रहना जरूरी है, पर अच्छे रीजन से रहिए. पाकिस्तान की न्यूज चैनल पे मत आइए कि वहां आप हीरो बन रहे हैं, वो ठीक नहीं.
ब्रिजेश कलप्पा, I mean, and I'd also want you to, Brijesh, respond to what General Katoch is saying, that you are linking this letter to the BJP and everyone who signed on to this letter to the BJP. General Katoch here is saying he's not from the BJP and he has nothing to do with the BJP. He is a concerned citizen, which is why he has written this open letter. Yes, the harshness of the letter can be questioned.
Yeah,
but the concern cannot.
See, 99% of this group, I said, Shreya, belong to the BJP, or they were, somehow aligned with the BJP. In fact, I'll go a step further. Every time an issue comes up, there is a coordinator, and I don't want to name that person. He is the one who takes the responsibility of contacting all these, officers. And there is a regular phone book which is used. That phone book is circulated, and that these signatures are collected. Many times, many of these people don't even know what they are signing for. I am not speaking for General Katoch, right? I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's a very respectable person, but I wish he would not get into such, very specious arguments that our country's honor is being compromised. How is it being compromised? A person is having chai. He's not having liquor. General Katoch should know that in the army canteen, liquor is also served. He's not having liquor. He's not doing drugs on the floor of the house. So I think if somebody is having chai and some biscuits, this is a poor man's food. He's not entitled to that much. And then on such a very specious issue for officers who have served at the highest levels to come and say, no, we are very agitated by this. My God, my heart is burning. My heart is being fried. I think it's, a little too much. Bhai, aapne itne din kar liya. People also kept quiet about it. I think it's time. Just shut shop on this. Or if you're going to want to raise your credibility, ask the BJP a few questions. Ask the Congress severe questions, I have no doubt. But ask the BJP a couple of questions. Now, as far as Mr. Gupta is concerned, Mr. Gupta obviously will say, no, I don't know, I want to distance myself. But everybody knows who is coordinating the whole effort. It's an open secret. Everybody knows this. On every issue, there are these letters being written, and all against Rahul Gandhi, all against the Congress party. Party has been in power for 12 years. Modi Sarkar has been there for 12 years. There is nothing wrong that they have done. They only have to target the opposition. This is a question I think every intelligent person will certainly ask. And if General Katoch doesn't want to ask himself that question, I don't know whom he's deluding, whether he's deluding himself or he's trying to delude the audience.
Okay. General, I'll give you 20 seconds to respond to the charges being made.
No, I think these charges are absurd, The question is, what Mr.
Did you get a phone call from the BJP? Did Mr. Ved get a phone call from the BJP to say, okay, now it's time to write an open letter? Were you aware of the contents of the letter that you were signing? These are questions being raised, so I'm asking.
Who did you get a phone call from?
Yes. I read the letter before signing because I agreed with it. There are some things which I agree with. You see, it has got, when Mr. Kalappa is saying that people are entitled to eat, of course they are entitled to eat. I would like them to eat whatever they wish to eat. I would just like to have a decorum display. You see, everything is done with a bit of decorum, and that carries more weight. My point is really on a different weight. If you want to do this opposition, please do it. We want a strong opposition. I want a very strong opposition, but do it with decorum so that it has an impact. This doesn't have an impact. It becomes something like
at every given
just a media
opportunity, you want
event.
to keep pulling us down.
General, here's what I'll say. Politics is not the army and the armed forces. Here decorum discipline nahi chalta. Dekhte to hai hum log roj. Matlab, what are you even aiming for? You are aiming for the moon, and not even the moon. You are aiming for the blue moon.
No,
But
Shreya, my point.
Here's I'm going to read from that letter. The letter is saying that Rahul placed personal political optics above the dignity of Parliament, reflecting what the signatories are describing as arrogance and entitlement. This, so general, is the language of the BJP, na? Arrogance, entitlement, parivarvad, all of this is the language of the BJP.
On a letter, we can always take one sentence and do whatever we want. Right. So that doesn't really matter. The point is central, that every single member of Parliament has worked very hard to get there. He is duty bound now to be a role model to the citizens of India. That is the point. You see, I'm a retired person. I'm 76 years old, Mr. Kalappa. I don't want anything from anybody. Please take it from me. I want nothing. And if you want a portion of my salary, I'll gladly donate it to the Congress. तो वो भी मैं देने को तैयार हूं. मेरी सिर्फ एक गुजारिश है, देखिए ये हमारा देश है. We want to go up, and you have to set they are not going to listen to me. I'm no more a serving officer, but the role models are our politicians.
But they are not listening to Rahul Gandhi also, or the opposition. Our politics is so divisive. But just come in here, Rohan Gupta. I have barely a minute on this show. Just come in here. First, you called Rahul Gandhi Pappu. He's entitled, dynasty, dynast, etc. Rich kid, spoiled kid, nepo kid. Sab bola aapne uske bare mein. Now when he's sitting on the stairs like an aam aadmi and having a cup of chai from that little paper ka cup and dunking his Parle Ji in it and having it, you are having a meltdown. Why? बात का पतंगड़ तो आपने बनाया.
देखिए श्रेया जी, मैंने पहले ही कहा कि आई एम नॉट हियर टू टॉक ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ पीपल हु हैव रिटन द लेटर. आई टोल्ड यू व्हाट इज द मेन स्पिरिट. कैन यू आप स्वयं मिस्टर राहुल गांधी, डू यू फील दैट किसी सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर को यहाँ पे ट्रेटर बोलना ठीक है? मुझे आप बताइए ना.
आपको तो चाय पकौड़े से भी प्रॉब्लम है.
नहीं देखिए, वापस मैंने चाय पकौड़े की बात मैंने ना बीजेपी ने की.
और सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर ने राहुल गांधी को क्या बोला था?
आई टेल यू, इफ मिस्टर
और सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर ने राहुल गांधी को क्या बोला था?
अगर ब्रिजेश जी कह रहे हैं कि उनको नंबर मालूम है तो बोलना चाहिए ना. क्यों छिपा रहे हैं? सबके सामने मालूम आना चाहिए ना. डेफिनेटली ये तो बहुत बड़ी चीज है. व्हाई टू हाइड इट? I am telling you, I am requesting you to please give the number and name of the person who is calling. It's very, very important, crucial point. Why to hide? Then immediately there is a correlation. But that my basic point here is, when the opposition leader, he does the protest should be for the sake, not just for the sake of it. आपको किसी ने आबादित अधिकार नहीं दिया है कि पार्लियामेंट का अपमान कीजिए, सेंट्रल मिनिस्टर को ट्रेटर बोलिए. किसी ने अधिकार नहीं दिया कि अंदर रूल्स को फॉलो मत करिए. किसी ने अधिकार नहीं है कि अनकोटेड बुक को करके पूरा जो सेशन को खराब कर दीजिए. ये किसी ने अधिकार नहीं दिया. It doesn't mean कि प्रोटेस्ट का मतलब है आप कुछ भी करें. और बिल्कुल आप नाम दीजिए, मैं आपके साथ कराऊं. प्लीज गिव द नेम एंड द नंबर ऑफ द पर्सन.
चाय और बिस्किट खाने में कुछ भी करना क्या है? मतलब प्रॉब्लम क्या है? अब देखिए, नैरेटिव वॉर है. वो ईरान और इजराइल के बीच भी चल रही है और कांग्रेस और बीजेपी के बीच भी चल रही है। बट आई वांट टू अगेन आस्क यू, चाय पीने में और बिस्किट खाने में प्रॉब्लम क्या है जिसको आपने इतना बात का बतंगड़ बनाया? चाय पकोड़ा पार्टी, टी पार्टी, चाय बिस्किट पार्टी, टी टोस्ट पार्टी, ही कम्स हियर फॉर पिकनिक। इतना तो कुछ नहीं था ना इसमें, मिस्टर गुप्ता।
मैंने वापस मैं आपको बोल रहा हूं, अगेन आई एम नॉट हियर टू टॉक अबाउट द लेटर, आई एम टॉकिंग इन स्पिरिट हाउ द पार्लियामेंट इज इंसल्टेड। अगर इनको लगा, आप देखिए, एक मिनट और चीज मैं बोलना चाहूंगा। सबको बीजेपी का बोल के आप अपमान नहीं कर सकते। हर आदमी का, जैसे आपका फ्रीडम ऑफ एक्सप्रेशन है, आप बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं ऑपोजिशन लीडर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं। दीज पीपल दे हैव रिटन, उसको बीजेपी का लेवल लगा के आप बोलेंगे नहीं कोई बोल नहीं सकता है। नो, everybody feels the dignity of the parliament should be maintained. They have their own right to tell what they want. But that doesn't take the fact away that आप पार्लियामेंट के अंदर मिनिस्टर को ट्रेटर बोल के अपमान करने का आबादित अधिकार आपको किसी ने नहीं दिया। You have to maintain the respect of the parliament inside and outside the parliament.
But Mr. Gupta, you don't have a principal problem with chai and biscuit. I am glad to hear that because आपने उसके बारे में एक भी बार नहीं बात की. Although your party has had a big problem with it. Mr. Kalappa, I am out of time. I can give you 20 seconds. Nothing beyond that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd only like to say this much, Shreya, that now that the general has already spoken, what does he have to say with Nishikant Dubey having received full security while he was on his visit to Gulmarg, and just a few days later, there was a massive attack on Pahalgam and 26 people died, and there was not even a single person, to protect them. Does General Katot's heart bleed for them? This is a question he must ask himself. He must ask all those signatories of that letter.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I think our viewers have heard from all sides. They've heard from a signatory. They've heard from the BJP. They've heard from the Congress. They will make up their own minds. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. Moving on.